Father, we ask your blessing not only upon this meeting as we discuss important matters, but also upon our community. We pray your blessing upon our community. It's a privilege to live here, a privilege to raise our families here. And we're thankful, Lord, for those in leadership positions. We're thankful, Lord, for this opportunity here to spread our values and spread our goals throughout our community. We thank you for this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
That's
Beautiful. And now, without any further delay, I'd like to present to you Mrs. Linda McCarthy, the Executive Director of the Downtown Partnership.
Hello and good evening. How are you?
We're doing marvelous.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, good. Thank you for having me on your show today.
It's an honor.
I have the pleasure of working for the Downtown Missoula Partnership, and we do a lot of different things in our community for our community, and I'd be happy to tell you a little bit more if you're interested.
By all means.
So the Downtown Missoula Partnership is comprised of three organizations: the Missoula Downtown Association, which has been around since 1975, the Downtown Business Improvement District, which has been around since 2005, and the Missoula Downtown Foundation, which we created in 2010. So out of our office at 218 East Main Street, we focus on building the best, brightest, most economically viable downtown. We focus on beautification projects like the flower baskets and the boulevard banners. We manage Cares Park and do most of the programming for that facility. We do a lot of clean and safe programming, so we do all garbage removal, graffiti removal, snow removal in the alleys, hot water power washing. We have the Downtown Clean Team, the Downtown Ambassadors, the dedicated Downtown Police Officer. Those are all programs of our BID. And then our Downtown Foundation is the fundraising arm for our downtown projects. So we have a piano. We do the pianos out on the boulevard. We do the Friends campaign, the Give Local campaign. That's the arm that does all the grant writing because it's the C3 organization. We also offer tax incentives for people to donate to downtown projects. We did the Light Our Bridges project in conjunction with that group. So we do a lot of things for downtown. We also do a lot of event planning. So the Missoula Downtown Association does about 75 events a year. And coming up this weekend is the signature celebration of the city that we love, and that is River City Roots Festival. It is a admission-free music and art festival in the streets of downtown Missoula. We'll see about 15,000 people downtown this weekend. This is the Welcome Back to Missoula or Welcome to Missoula event for University of Montana students. That's why we have it the weekend before school starts. So we'll have live music, we'll have an art show, we'll have a 4-mile fun run, we'll have family fun fest, food court, beverage garden, local food, local beer, local distillery products. So very much focused on celebrating Missoula.
Yes.
Excellent.
So we're excited to have that event. We'll have, I think, 10 different bands on stage, including Grammy Award winner Rodney Crowell. And then we also will have the Little Smokies as our headliner Friday night. And that's the first time we've had a Missoula band as a headliner.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, when was the organization established?
Well, the partnership was created in 2014 in a restructuring to help us bring on the skill sets that we needed, that were missing, and to help elevate the foundation as the third leg of our downtown stool. So the partnership's been around since March of 2014, but the other organizations, as I noted earlier, have been around much longer. So what we have is we have the partnership is the umbrella, and then we have 3 boards, 3 budgets, 3 work plans, 1 staff serving all 3 organizations. So what that does is it keeps our overhead low, and it keeps our effectiveness high because we're collaborating together and working with all three organizations.
Marvelous, marvelous, extraordinary. And ma'am, again, I've known you. You know, I understand that you all are the Downtown Connection. And would you explain what you know what the business
Yeah, let me
resource
tell you.
guide is all about?
So this is one of our new marketing products right here. This is the Business Resource Guide for Downtown. And anybody that has a downtown business, we'd like to have a copy of this guide. And in this publication, we talk a little bit about who is the Downtown Partnership, what are the three organizations that it is comprised of. We talk about the primary community events that we have. It is downtown where our community connects to other members of the community, so most of our events are community-oriented events. So Winter Brew Fest, Garden City Brew Fest, we talked about Roots Fest, the Classic Car Show, Out to Lunch, Downtown Tonight, Parade of Lights. This guide also talks about our downtown gift card program. We sell downtown gift cards. They're good at almost 200 downtown businesses. You can buy them at our office at 218 East Main, or you can buy them at the MSO Hub. And last year we sold about $250,000 in downtown gift cards. And this is intended for downtown employees to understand how the program works and what to do when they're having troubles.
Wonderful.
This is our public parking map. You know, we have new parking meters downtown, so you know we're spending a lot of time and energy on training people how to use the new parking kiosks, letting people know that the first hour is always free in the downtown parking garages, so you can always park for less than an hour in the garage and it's free.
Wonderful.
Your second hour is 50 cents. We also have a little bit of information about, you know, what to do if you have folks soliciting or panhandling outside of your business, who to call, what to do, what are the city laws, and who can help you with those things, what are the resources that we have to help the homeless. And then we have a nice little map here that shows the street and who to call if you see something wrong with a banner or a flower basket or a holiday decoration. And then of course, you know, important phone numbers to have. So this is a new marketing tool that's come out of our economic development efforts to try and help people understand the environment when they're working downtown. So this is an internal piece that we give to all of our MDA members and BID ratepayers, and that is our business resource guide. We also have a downtown guide that we give to the consumer that lists all of our businesses and the kinds of offerings they have, and a mapping location. We also offer a self-guided historical walking tour and a self-guided public art tour.
Marvelous, marvelous. Now, would this also apply for, say, like, for the educational community, schools, elementary, high school?
Our
Participation.
communications isn't really focused on targeting middle school or high school students. You know, we're really a business association, so we're really our primary audience is you know, business owners, property owners, and then you know people who want to do commerce downtown. Now, that said, I know that we are seeing more and more, and we'll continue to see more students, college students, high school students, middle school students shopping downtown, spending time downtown, because this is where entertainment happens. It's where the Children's Museum is, where Spectrum is, where the Missoula Art Museum is. So we have lots of
Carriage Park.
offerings for families and folks with children. So you know, they are a customer base of ours, and you know, we probably need to be more thoughtful about what that means. But this is a tool primarily for our downtown business owners.
I understand.
I have a question for Linda.
Go ahead.
Do you have
Yes, sir.
any promotional tools, like a video to entice people to come here and start a business here?
We just finished a year-long video project with Dynamic Aerial Media, and we have posted on our website at MissoulaDowntown.com a 3-minute video of downtown, and it showcases all the wonderful things that we have to offer as a downtown. We also have a brief video on River City Roots Festival, so you have a chance to view the video and see what the festival is like before you come. So yes, we do have video.
Nice, very good.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to live, isn't it?
It's a great place to live. It's always fun to, you know, leave town and travel elsewhere, but it's always more fun to come back to Missoula.
Yeah.
And Missoula has a magnet that keeps bringing people back, whether you're a resident or a visitor, you know, people tend to want to return over and over again to Missoula, and they say that a person will visit Missoula like 2.8 times in their lifetime. So we know that that's a pretty common thing, and we also have people who move away and come back again and again and again.
Yeah.
So Missoula has a magnet for sure.
Yes, absolutely. What I've noticed, I've been here for 30 years, and what I've noticed is it's a larger city. Of course, we've watched it grow, haven't we? Okay, since 1984 when we moved here, but it still has retained the community spirit. No matter how large this city gets, it's still community. And I
Yes.
think the university and downtown provide for that atmosphere.
Well, Missoula is Montana's most culturally diverse city. It is the second largest city in the state. It's still a very small town,
Yes, it
though,
is.
you know,
Yes,
and
it is, yeah.
And when we look at, you know, what do we need to do for our downtown, we often model larger communities in the Rocky Mountain West. So we look to places like Seattle, Portland, Spokane. And Boise. We look at Fort Collins and Boulder and Tucson. You know, so we compare ourselves to other larger communities
Yes.
as opposed to comparing ourselves to other Montana communities.
Right.
But
Right.
I think a good reason that Missoula is such a special place is because of the work that our forefathers did to make sure that downtown was vibrant and healthy.
Mhm.
You know, building right on the river, you know, right at the base of Mount Sentinel, Mount Jumbo. You know, we have I-90 and the railroad that come right through town, so it has all the things that you
Yes.
would need for connectivity to other communities.
Mhm.
But downtown really is what we call the heart and soul of Missoula. And you know, when you want to get to know your community, you don't typically go to North Reserve Street or to Midtown. You come downtown because that's where you're going to see what's distinct and unique about Missoula.
The history.
It's where you see your history,
And
it's
your
where
culture.
you have your culture.
Yes.
It's where you have your community events where people of all socioeconomic levels can come and enjoy. They're not, you know, ticketed events necessarily. We have lots of that too, but you know, events that anybody can enjoy. You know, right on the water. Karis Park is really Missoula's town square. We've been managing that facility on behalf of the city since the 1990s. And
Wonderful.
so we're very fortunate to have a city plaza like Karis Park that brings people together.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well said.
Have you ever done an outdoor service in Karis Park?
We do an outdoor service in Petty Canyon.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's a great place
Yeah.
to go to.
Yeah, we do that every year.
Yeah. So we have churches that oftentimes will come down and do services
Okay.
on Sundays, and we also have churches get involved with the Parade of Lights, which is usually the first Saturday in December.
Okay.
We do a big parade and the lighting of the Christmas tree and lots of kids activities. We're very focused on making sure that our downtown is family friendly
Yes.
and accessible to all. So it's important in our programming that we think about families and children and that kind of thing. So we tend to think about that quite a bit.
Missoula's future entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
We're seeing a lot of uptick in the entrepreneurial focus of economic development, lots of new startups, new businesses, lots of development coming online in our downtown. We have a downtown master plan that was done in 2008 and 2009. We have a vision for downtown. We've been working diligently to implement that vision. So we have quite a bit of development projects and public infrastructure projects that are going to take place in downtown over the next 5 years. As a matter of fact, it's about $850 million of improvements.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So we have a lot of things happening downtown.
Ma'am, I mean, is there an emphasis on the restoration of the historical landmarks here in downtown Missoula?
So every downtown has to be focused on retaining its history. You know, the downtown is where your community begins. It's where your history is. It's where your historical buildings are.
Yeah.
And in Missoula, we've had a lengthy discussion about this over the course of the last 6 months as it relates to the Missoula Mercantile Building, a building, you know, that's been around for over 100 years and, you know, was the center, the epicenter of commerce in our community. And, you know, that property has sat vacant for 6 years, and it's been a very difficult situation for our downtown businesses. And, you know, as much as you hate to lose a historical building of that nature, it's clearly impossible to make a project happen in that space that doesn't have a whole lot of public funds vested into it. It's a private property. You know, Andy Holleran and his group at Home Base have put forth a concerted effort to bring forth a project that the community will support. They've modified their project a lot over time. Last night, the City Council approved the development agreement. So our downtown community is excited about having a project in that space, about seeing that corner come back to life and be the epicenter of commerce, because that's really the history of that corner. We're going to see first floor retail and restaurant. We're going to see, you know, lodging in the upper floors, and we need good hotels downtown that, you know, have a higher level of service and amenity
visibility
to them.
Yes.
And that turnover will be really good for our downtown retailers and our downtown restaurants. So we are hopeful that that project will continue to move forward.
Oh, super.
That is exciting.
And so what is your position with regards to the need for the new library proposal?
Well, our library is quite old, and it has outgrown its space, and a library is an important community center in any community. So we are very much hopeful that Missoulians will approve the bond in November. They are looking to acquire $30 million through bonding and raise another $5 million in private funds. They've done a lot of work in terms of design and working with adjacent property owners. You know, that library will anchor our cultural district. We'll have new student housing going in across the street. It's a great project for our downtown. And you know, when you compare Missoula to Bozeman and Billings, we're a little bit behind them because they both have brand new libraries in their downtown.
Right.
And we're long overdue. So we're excited about the Missoula Public Library.
Great, super. What is the status of the area where we have the railroad, the train station there?
Are you talking
for
about
the
on
farmers?
North Higgins?
Yes,
So,
ma'am. North Higgins there.
Yeah, the Great Northern Railroad Depot is
Yes, ma'am.
one of our iconic buildings, and it's currently owned by the Washington Corporation. And you know, we see lots of trains coming through our downtown. We have lost passenger rail service, so we don't have passenger rail anymore. There may be a time when that comes back. It doesn't seem to be a hot topic at the moment. But I think that building's, you know, being well cared for. It doesn't have a very public access to it, but you know, maybe sometime in the future it will be opened back up to the public.
Marvelous.
You know, my dad works for the Great Northern for 41 years.
Wow, that's a really
Yeah,
long time.
yeah.
Well, the railroads are really important to connecting communities, and you know, we've kind of had maybe a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the railroad recently because, you know, there was a time when we didn't have hardly any rail cars coming through town when the economy wasn't good.
Right.
And then as the economy's gotten better, we have lots more trains coming through, and many of them are carrying coal to China. You know, and so there's public health concerns now that maybe we didn't think about 30 years ago or 60 years ago. And now the economy's kind of tapered a little bit, and so now we're parking trains in certain places, and you know, that's kind of frustrating. And you know, we spend a lot of time talking about redeveloping rail yards and how can we turn, you know, some of this empty, vacant, you know, underutilized space into something that's really the highest and best use. For example, we have a housing project in the downtown master plan that would be great for just north of the railroad where Higgins ends. And, you know, whether it comes to fruition or not really lies in the hands of BNSF and what they want to do. We have the Missoula College being built on East Broadway, and you know, that's right adjacent to the rail line, so it'll be interesting to see if there's any development on the north side of Broadway. You know, and we're fortunate. We have Washington Corporation headquarters, MRL headquarters right here in Missoula. The folks who work out there are very much, you know, caring and contributing to our community in a variety of ways, and what they do for employment is pretty incredible too.
Super. And do you embellish, attracting new or existing industry to expand here in downtown Missoula
So
as a business alliance or business as a business connection for the downtown connection?
economic development for downtown is definitely in our wheelhouse. We do spend a lot of time working on, you know, business, education, and development, and relocation. We're not out recruiting businesses outside of Missoula to come to Missoula. That really is the job of the Missoula Economic Partnership. We do work with them, and you know, but our goal really is to, you know, get people thinking about downtown. So we tend to focus more on a local level, and you know, when you look at what's happening, you know, we have 2 to 1 more openings than closings downtown. We track all of the businesses that open and close. We offer all of the space available for sale for lease on our website free of charge. You know, our goal is to connect people to spaces and places, and so that's really the work that we do in economic development.
Ma'am, I noticed you have a new bank being constructed where the Salvation Army used to be. Could you expound on that?
Well, sure. There's the banking industry has changed dramatically since 2008. So we've seen a lot of you know, mergers and buyouts, and you know, and over time we have a couple new banks that have moved into the Missoula marketplace. Stockman Bank is headquartered in Miles City. They've been a strong arm in the eastern part of the state, and they are now moving into the Missoula marketplace. They are building an enormous building, a 6-story building at the corner of Orange and Broadway, which is a great investment in our downtown. It's a building that will be LEED certified, comparable to the Garlington Lawn and Robinson building. It will house multiple businesses, including Stockman Bank. I anticipate we'll see, you know, a lot of professional offices, high-end professional offices there, and they are building parking. So it's nice to see, you know, that project come out of the ground, and I think they're scheduled to open in the fall of 2017. We also have Trail West Bank that has moved into downtown Missoula, and they've moved into the building that we're in. We've been able to partner up and buy the building, and they just opened a couple weeks ago, and they've been Bitterroot Valley banks, so they've had lots of places in the Bitterroot Valley and you know, sort of the western part of I-90 that they've been serving, and now they're in the Missoula marketplace. So.
Marvelous, marvelous. Pastor, what's your take?
Well,
I mean,
it's kind of appropriate, you know, from the mustard seed to what we're seeing develop there now.
yes.
You know.
So, do you remember when the mustard seed was downtown?
Mhm.
Do you remember when it was on the what we now call the Fox Triangle or the Riverfront Triangle? So the
Mhm.
mustard seed was there, and they moved out to the mall, and then they closed their downtown store. We hate to see that go, but you know, that site in our downtown was the former city dump, and so they've excavated all the garbage out of there, and the Farron Group has put forth a proposal with some business partners to redevelop that entire triangle. It's about $150 million development that will include a hotel and a conference center and retail and office complex and housing of a variety of different incomes and types. And it'll be right on the waterfront. It'll have, you know, sort of public waterfront space, public access space. So it's going to be a great project. You know, it's a little bit further down the road, maybe 2-3 years potentially, but it's going to completely redevelop that West Broadway corridor and extend our downtown beyond
Yes.
Orange Street into that corridor and connect more to the St. Pat's Hospital campus.
So currently, what is, you know, speaking of the expansion, what is the boundaries of the greater downtown?
Well, I would argue that downtown doesn't need a boundary. I would tell you that, you know,
Bless your heart.
we're not closing a gate that says this
Right.
is downtown and you're not.
Right.
So it kind of depends upon your own personal connection to downtown and what you see. And, you know, for us, you know, Van Buren and Orange are both gateways into downtown, as is Orange Street and Madison Street, West Broadway and East Broadway. So those are all gateways into our downtown. Our community as a whole is growing to the west, so we will continue to evolve downtown further to the west. Some feel like, you know, south of the river is not downtown. Others feel like it's absolutely downtown. So it really just sort of depends upon, you know, what you think downtown is.
Right.
So we're not talking borders and boundaries.
Right.
All right, super.
We're
I
talking
love it.
expansion.
There you go.
We're talking about a downtown that welcomes everyone, no matter where they're from.
Marvelous. On that note, I represent an alliance from that's from the state of Indiana. It's the IMI Tri-State Alliance, and the corporation has made an official policy position to establish the executive offices here in Missoula.
Why?
Because it's an ideal location for corporate development and expansion. It's I mean the people here. I mean it's a very highly skilled labor force. You know, this is actually the wonderland. Montana is just as you indicated earlier, it do have a very
It's a magnet.
It is. It's contagious. I mean, you can't just come here and not be affected.
Yeah.
You know, you leave, you want to come back.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know, similar to when you go to experiencing the Caribbean cruise. You know, you go once and you're like, wow, I got to do this again. At least once in a lifetime. But in Montana, it's a whole different element.
Last best place.
Yes. Well, I think it's the next great frontier in America.
Yeah.
And it's truly an American success story, such as you all here at the Downtown Connection. Tell us a little bit more about some of the initiatives you all have going forward on the front burners of your agenda.
Okay, well, you know, primarily we're looking at capital improvement projects for downtown. So we are raising funds for replacement of the canopy in Cares Park. We are raising funds to continue the development of our Missoula wayfinding system. We've We've installed the pedestrian directional signs this summer. Hopefully you've had a chance to see them. The next project that we'll need to focus on is information kiosks, and we have 9 of them programmed for downtown. We recently got a grant to expand our recycling efforts in Caras Park, so we'll be getting some new recycling containers there. We'd like to do a sound system in Caras Park. We'd like to expand our flower baskets. We have 100 flower baskets. We water them 7 days a week. We water them twice a day when the temperature is 80 degrees or higher.
Is that the work of the ambassadors?
Nope, it's our facility staff that does that. So we have 6 part-time staff members, and 4 of them work in facilities, and they water our flowers.
That's wonderful. That's great.
We might look at potentially lighting another bridge down the road as we look to develop that river corridor. And we'd like to see the Max Wave get built, so there's a community effort to get that going. I feel like we're going to need to update the downtown master plan in the next couple of years, so we're going to need to be finding some funds to help update the downtown plan, because much of what we've set forth to do we've accomplished. As we grow business spaces, we will need to grow parking, so we'll need to develop more parking options. We are a strong supporter of Zero Fare Mountain Line. The Missoula Downtown Association is one of the 14 partners that pays for Zero Fare service. So at the end of that 3-year pilot project, it'll be interesting to see sort of what's the next step and how do we continue to fund Zero Fare service. Ridership is up about 45%, and we see that as a real economic asset for our downtown. We want to, down the road, convert Front and Main to 2-way streets. We'd like to see, eventually, it'd be nice to take all of that surface parking out of the Caras Park corridor and turn that all into park space and relocate that parking into a different area. Certainly, having downtown housing and, housing of all types, low-end, high-end, mixed income, is a valuable asset for our downtown. So we're getting some new signals on Higgins Avenue. MDT's doing new signals, and so we'll see some work there. We're seeing a new roundabout at Orange Street, a new roundabout at Van Buren Street. Those are some of the public improvements down the road that we have. We're always looking at how do we grow our programs, how do we grow attendance at our events, how do we grow gift card sales, how do we increase membership and increase engagement. So those are things that are always on our docket. And this year, one of our primary goals is really communicating to our Missoulians who we are and what we do, because so much of what we do
the community.
people don't know about.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
I concur. In fact, I'm
See
convinced, yes, it's the Missoula downtown connection that is the glue that is making, that is keeping it all together. And we commend you all. Ms. McCarthy, how might one become a member of the association?
Well, there's a variety of ways that people can support
And
downtown.
yeah, I mean, could you give us some email addresses or some information on where you guys are located?
So we are located at 218 East Main Street. We just bought our building in February, so we're a nonprofit that owns its own space.
Great.
We've been there since 2006. Folks can get involved through our organization in a variety of ways. And again, we run 3 different organizations out of our office. So
Wonderful.
starting with the foundation, and one of the projects I failed to mention is holiday decor. We're currently in the midst of a capital campaign to raise $35,000 to upgrade our electrical system for our downtown holiday decor. We did phase 1 improvements last year, so we're doing phase 2 improvements this year. So if people like that, they can write a check to the Missoula Downtown Foundation and mail it to our office at 218 East Main Street. Again, $35,000 is our goal for that project. We will launch our Friends of Downtown campaign on October 7 with the Piano Places and People party at the Bank Street Pocket Park next to First Interstate Bank.
Wonderful.
People can become a member of the Missoula Downtown Association, which is the membership-based organization. We have close to 500 members. Anybody can be a member. You pay membership dues. Our dues are a variety of different levels based upon annual gross income. Our lowest level is $120 a year for friends or individuals. Our highest is $1,200 for those businesses that are generating over $10 million a year.
Oh, sure.
And then as a member of the Missoula Downtown Association, you get a lot of membership benefits, of which one is accepting the downtown gift card, getting our monthly newsletter, getting information early, invitations to come to events, opportunities to promote your business on our website or in our publications. Those are just some of the benefits. We do a lot of networking, socials. And then, if you're interested in supporting the Business Improvement District, you want to buy property downtown.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
And that
Most
would be
certainly.
within a particular
certainly.
boundary, and our
Is it
BID,
negotiable?
our BID ratepayers, are really the base of who we are. We have about 650 ratepayers, and the clean, safe, and economically viable components of what we do live in the house of BID. The BID is created and approved by signed petition of property owners, so it is the will of the property owners to have a BID, and it's an economic tool used across the country. So those are 3 ways to get involved. Another way to get involved is simply to volunteer, and
Super.
we're always looking for volunteers, mostly for events. For example, this weekend, River City Roots Festival will use 250 volunteers. So we still have about 50 positions left to fill.
Now, excuse me, you mentioned the River City Roots Festival. Is this the 11th annual I've been hearing about? Would you
So this is
expound
the
on
event
that?
I opened up with. So this is Missoula's signature celebration of the city that we live in.
Okay.
It is an admission-free street music and art festival. Again, we use about
May I hold up one of
we
the
use
flyers?
about 250 volunteers.
And that's the Rivers, that's the 11th annual River City Roots Festival? Super, and the dates for that, ma'am?
That's this Friday, August 26 and 27. So the festival starts at 11 a.m. on Friday. Live music will start at 2:30 p.m. Friday, and we will party into the night and all on Saturday. We have a 4-mile run Saturday morning at, I think it starts at 8:30 a.m. and that does come with prizes for the top finishers. We take Karis Park and we turn it over to kids, so we do everything in the park just for kids. So we have kids entertainment groups, we have kids activity stations, we have a teen dance party, thanks to the Boys and Girls Club on Friday night. So really, again, that focus on family. We pay for this festival through business sponsorships, so folks like the Missoulian, Big Sky Brewing Company, Good Food Store, First Interstate Bank, Bob Ward's, and about 30 other businesses
Yes, ma'am.
who write checks to pay for our hard costs so that we don't have to charge admission.
Super.
We do sell food and beverage in the street. You can find out more at rivercityrootsfestival.com. You can volunteer by calling the Missoula Downtown Partnership 543-4238 or email info@missouladowntown.com.
Would you give us that number again, please, ma'am?
406-543-4238. That is our office number.
And that is the Missoula,
That's the Downtown Missoula Partnership office. And again, out of that office, we run all 3 organizations.
and that address is?
218 East Main Street. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have 9 full-time employees and 6 part-time employees. And everybody is focused on a vibrant, healthy, fun, and fulfilling downtown.
It's marvelous.
Great. You're busy. You're one
We're
busy
busy.
person, I'll tell you what.
We're busy staff, and we have very, very engaged board members. Our organization runs very smoothly because we have exceptional leaders from our stakeholder groups that provide that directive for us. So I feel very fortunate. This is my 17th. I'm going on to my 18th year in the position. So
Congratulations.
I've had a chance to work with
That's
some
marvelous.
incredibly amazing and dynamic individuals, and I feel very lucky to be here.
And the city of Missoula is honored to have you as the executive director of the Downtown Partnership. Again, we're honored to have Mrs. Linda McCarthy, the executive director of the Downtown Partnership, as our guest. Also seated at the studio is Pastor Mike Manning and Mr. Asaph Adonai, the gentleman playing tickling the ivory. We're delighted to have him also appearing at the broadcast. But again, I'd just like to, in closing, I would like to ask Mrs. McCartney if she could, if there are some areas that we may have overlooked that you feel that we might need to share with your viewing audience.
Well, I like to talk about all the positive things about downtown, and not every downtown has all positive things. And I think the things that people struggle with the most are the P words: parking and panhandling.
Oh, yeah.
So here's my advice. As it relates to parking, we have some amazing new parking kiosks downtown. Yes, you need to know your license plate. You can park anywhere. You can plug any meter. You don't have to plug the meter next to your car. The meters now take credit cards, and pretty soon you'll be able to pay for your parking fees by phone. Right now you can extend your time by phone. You can pour your car around downtown throughout the duration. It is new technology. We are all still learning new technology, but it's saving a lot of time and money and sidewalk space actually. And our foundation will be selling and rolling out the old parking meters. We've got some fun parking meter art projects in the works. And then panhandling. And panhandling is a Missoula problem. It's not just a downtown problem.
I think panhandling is an American problem.
It is a national problem.
It's coast to coast.
It is, you're right.
You have that issue.
And we need a couple things to happen. We need A, for people to have maybe a little bit more tolerance, but B, we need to stop giving them change on the streets. That's
Yes,
what
ma'am.
keeps them
I
on the
concur.
streets.
Sure.
And so
I
if we
concur.
quit giving them change on the streets and we direct that change to organizations that provide for their frontline needs, there wouldn't be a reason for them to be sitting on every street corner in our downtown. So, and then when you see crime happening, you need to call 911 every
Yes.
time, all the time, so that we have a record of what's happening and we can address it. And in the big picture sense, we don't have a lot of panhandling. We have about 100 people that are maybe pretty chronic. We do have a homeless population, but we have many homeless families that you don't even see on the streets.
Right.
They are, living out of their cars or their vans. They're staying, in homeless shelters or couch surfing. The people that we see on the street oftentimes are people who are choosing to live without a house. And it's important to remind everybody that this is a community-wide problem that needs a community-wide solution.
Yeah.
So parking and panhandling, are some of the things that, we're always are working on and hoping to improve that situation. And the more we can do to educate our community members and visitors, the better off we are.
Back on the parking, are they gonna develop an app where you can remotely increase your time if you're away? from your car?
Totally,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
As a matter of fact, the company that they're looking at doing is now just implementing a pilot project in Cheney, Washington.
Mhm.
So they want to wait and see how that goes
Yeah.
and let them sort of get any of the bugs worked
Yeah,
out before
right.
we implement that here in
Yeah.
Missoula. So the Parking Commission did go through an RFP process, and we have a new parking commissioner in Rod Austin and a lot of new staff there. So we're kind of elevating parking in downtown Missoula.
Marvelous. Ms. McCartney, as a representative of IMI Tri-State Alliance, we have a subsidiary, IMI Montana, the Montana Empowerment Network, and Right Now TV. We are presenting the second annual 2016 prestigious Service Excellence Award. And that's scheduled for October the 16th, and it will be at the Holiday Inn Missoula downtown, 200 South Petite.
Patty. Patty Street.
Is it Patty?
Patty.
I got it.
Patty.
Okay, Patty Street. Thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
But again, your name has come up. In fact, the downtown partnership, and whoever would be that person, I hope ideally you as the recipient. It's been selected to be. Yes, to receive an award, that prestigious award, and how you indicated about the partnership as nonprofits. I mean, how would we engage with you all in participating in events to generate resources or benefits for you all?
I'm not sure. I think that's a good question and probably something that might take a little bit of offline brainstorming.
Well, I would like you to count us in.
Okay.
Consider us as part of, as an ally.
Well, I think there's ways to get involved. I mean, maybe you want to be a member of the Downtown Association.
Most
Or maybe
certainly.
you want to be a donor for the foundation. Or maybe you want to volunteer for an activity or an event. Or serve on a committee. Or sponsor an event. There's all kinds of opportunities to engage and plug in with our organization.
Great. And as a producer, representing a series, a frequently aired series here at MCAT, I understand MCAT is also a member of the
MCAT's
partnership.
been a long-standing member of the Missoula Downtown Association. They also sponsor a lot of events that we do. They
Super.
partner with us on a lot of events. They've provided children's activities at Out to Lunch or Downtown Tonight or Roots Fest. They've oftentimes videoed a lot of things. They've videotaped a lot of conferences and presentations. MCAT has been an extraordinary partner for us in our time here.
Well, we wish you all continued success.
Thank you.
And again, we are honored to have Mrs. Linda McCarthy, the Executive Director for the Downtown Partnership, as our special guest at the broadcast. We're also honored to have Pastor Mike Maney from the
Missoula Landmark Missionary Baptist Church here in Missoula.
Missoula Landmark Missionary Baptist Church, and we also have the distinguished Mr. Asaph Adonai.
Asap's great. He's done a lot of work for us.
Absolutely.
Yes, we're delighted to have Asaph at the, perform to tickle the ivory for us. We're gonna have to get you in on the credits, Mr. Adonai.
I just feel blessed. I just feel blessed enough doing this, so I'm very
Can
humbled.
get this remote in sync.
Thank
But
you.
again, we are delighted to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
And again, we are honored to have Mrs. McCarthy as our special guest, as a representative of the Missoula Downtown Association and the Downtown Partnership.
Thank you.
We're honored to have you here. Thank you for appearing.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for allowing us to, for tuning into the broadcast. My name is Jay Van Smith. I'm the executive producer of the IMI Right Now TV show. And you can watch us Mondays at 6 o'clock p.m., channel 189, Charter Cable, or Saturdays at 5 p.m., channel 189, Charter Cable, or you can also view us on demand by logging into MCAT.org and search channel 189 Right Now TV. Thank you and have a great week.